People have carved their names. I'm the only one here.
Welcome to Pillars of the Past. As you can see, I'm trying a bit of a different background here. Not sure how that's going to play out, but I drew this all in Sharpie, and this is like egg crate foam that I did it on, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm working on a ton of new videos of unknown ancient sites that I located down in Peru. This one here, however, is right along the coast, and so with that, let's get into it. Here on the coast of Peru, headed north from Lima, right alongside the Pan American Highway, is an ancient archaeological site called the Fortaleza de Paramonga. It's actually debated whether or not this was an actual fortress, as it was initially the Spanish who labeled it as such, but it is said to have been constructed between 1100 and 1400 CE by the Chimú culture, but it was then later occupied by the Incas as they continued the expansion of their empire.
All right, so this is the site of Paramonga. It's La Fortaleza de Paramonga. I'm the only one here.
It is debated whether or not this was an actual fortress.
I see some other forts in the distance.
Here on Google Earth, you can see these other mounds adjacent to this site, and these have clear indications of other ancient architecture. I decided to walk around the perimeter first before going further up and into the structure. The theories from scholars suggesting against it being a fortress are based on similar construction methods at other Chimú temples. In particular, wall niches, which we'll see later, that were known to hold artifacts or items of veneration. In this corner part of the structure that's crumbling, you can see how deep these walls were and how many adobe bricks went into the construction of this site.
That's the Pan American Highway right there. So, I mean, literally driving up and down the coast, you will see huacas or fortalezas. I mean, just all along the journey, whether it's north or south. Cultures here in South America were massive and all along the coast.
I headed back towards the entrance so I could make it to the upper levels. And as you'll see going through this site, pretty much all the iconography has long been eroded, and unfortunately it's been replaced by graffiti from people carving their names into the adobe bricks of the structure.
Check it out. We're inside the fort. People have carved their names on all sorts of things here.
There are many scholars who suggest the site has astronomical alignments.
Let's keep going.
However, it does not appear as if anybody has undertaken thorough research to map that out. It is, however, widely thought that when viewed from above, the Fortaleza appears to take the shape of a llama, and which, although is typically regulated to the Andes highlands, the Chimú had such a vast empire, and their strongholds at the base of the Andean foothills were trading with those cultures in the highlands. And this has been verified by the remains of llamas at many of the coastal cities, like Chan Chan, for example.
We're at the top of the fort now. Oh, how dope is that? It's the ocean there, Pan American Highway here, part of the fort there. The very top of the fort.
When the Spanish first arrived, chroniclers like Miguel de Estete wrote that there were 2 tigers or pumas carved in the main entrance. And Pedro Cieza de Leon wrote that there were many wild beasts and birds painted on the walls. And I wonder if carvings of aggressive animals helped facilitate the idea of this being a fortress.
God, there is not a single brick that has not been defaced.
De Leon also wrote that it was, quote, very curious to see how they raised water in channels to irrigate the higher levels. Here in one of the rooms at the top of the structure, you can see those wall niches that some scholars suggest religious artifacts or items of veneration were placed. There is a long, rich history of cultures occupying this particular valley that we saw, the Fortaleza. In fact, Peru's most advanced, earliest civilization, the Caral-Supe Civilization, also built structures in this area. Particularly this site here you can see isn't too far away, called Cerro Provenir. You can see my video on that on the channel. Part of the goal of the channel here is to capture as many unknown ancient sites as I possibly can when I come across them. But in addition to that, when I come across a known site and I'm able to spend the time and capture it, I want to be able to give all of you a first-hand view of what they look like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. One of the videos currently in the queue is a completely unknown archaeological site that didn't have any Ministry of Culture designation that I could find or any indication that archaeologists had ever been there. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell if you want to stay alerted to it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.